Hello, my love. I am live with you for Q&A Tuesday, episode 2. Was drinking some water, sorry. I'm so excited to be here with you. Let me just do my lips real quick. So, this is our second episode. We had our beautiful Q&A Tuesday 2 weeks ago. I'm so excited to be back doing lives with you. We've had so many amazing questions. I show up so much on Instagram. So if you're not following along on Instagram at the Queen of Confidence, come and say hello because I'm there. I would love to talk to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and close that. Okay, amazing. So today's episode is about how you can cut through on social media when it feels so saturated, when it feels like the algorithm is asking for your soul. I get that. Okay, I understand. It is a really crazy, wild time right now. I think it feels so full on because there has never been more people on the internet at this moment in time. And not only having more people on the internet, but what is being requested from us is pretty wild. They are asking for, in the first 3 seconds, in the first 5 seconds, thumbnails, messages, reels, call to actions, not too many call to actions, add hashtags, don't add hashtags. It's crazy. And there's like a million people telling you trending audio, do this, you should do this, the 5 ways, the 17 things. It stresses me out so much. And it's one of the reasons why I personally do not believe in consuming. I struggle as a creator to consume too much content. And so for those of you out there wondering, how do I cut through? How do I become the go-to? How do I make noise? How do I stand out from the crowd when it's so saturated? There's so many people. The algorithm hates me, right? Like none of my engagement is happening. It's so hard. It's so difficult. I just want you to pause for a second and think about the focus. If you are focused on how hard it is, on how many people are on the platforms you want to get on how difficult it is, on how your content sucks or how you're shadow banned, like look at the focus. All you can do is choose what you focus on. All you can do is choose how you make that mean or what you make that mean about you, about your worthiness, about your content, about your how likable you are. You can make it mean all kinds of things about you. And instead, what I'd love for you to do as you ask this question, I know that it feels hard. I get it. Me too. Same. But here I am on YouTube Live when there's a billion YouTubers doing it way better than me, doing it more regularly, doing it cooler, streaming live on multiple platforms. Yeah, I could do that. But I'm here with you right now doing this. And I'm going to focus on doing this. And when I feel like I can do other things, I will focus on other things. But instead of worrying about the multiple people and the many things that could go wrong and how hard it is, my focus is going to stay on what's not working, on what's bad. And I can't change all of that, but I can change what I focus on. I can change what I choose to do, and I can change that outcome. I can change how I feel about that. And so instead of worrying about the saturation and the algorithm, what I want to say to you, my friend, is can you tap into the algorithm of you? There is an algorithm of Erica. There's an algorithm of Mary. There's an algorithm of Nina. There's an algorithm of Heidi. And when you tap into your own algorithm, who you are, what you're about, what you love, what you're currently going through, the life that you're living, the experiences you're having, how you're helping your clients, what's important to you, what you value, what you hate, what pisses you off, what excites you, whatever. All the things about you, that's not trending. That's always trending. The algorithm of you is always trending. You are always interesting. You have life. You have things going on for you. You have perspectives in the way you see the world that other people don't have. And so when you're so worried about fitting into the box of social media, about doing everything like they say to do, about following the trends, about dancing on the ways that they want you to dance with the audios and the trending and the this, like when you start chasing your tail in that way, and I know that there's a way to be, I get it, I understand. But however, when I feel like I have to do that, then it becomes hard. And when something becomes hard, we procrastinate and we don't show up and we don't do it. So instead of you trying to perfect everything and get the algorithm sorted and make sure you're on track and you're hitting the trends and you're doing all the things, I'm just like, show up. Show up and be different. How can you be different? You're different. Just by you being you, it's different. But if you try to be trending, if you try to repeat a trend I did, if you try to do what they're doing, if you try to create that thing that that person just did and redo it and make it viral, I know that's what they say, but I'm like, Mr. Beast has been done. Gary Vee is already done. Layla Hermosi and Alex, they're done. They got their brand. People are already doing what they're doing. And it's the people that decide to be different. And what do they say? Zig when others zag, or zag when others zig, right? Go left when everybody's going right. Maybe your whole difference is, you know what? It's pissing me off lately. Social media. I hate this content that I have to create. I hate that I have to feed the system. I hate that I have to be XYZ. You know what? To change it up, I'm going to do me. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to post 3 times a week. And when I post, it's going to be fire. And I'm going to share the shit that pisses me off about my industry. I'm going to share the zig when others are zagging. I'm going to share the insights that only I have, because I'm going to be open and share my mind and my brain and my experiences and my opinions and my whatever. You get to do whatever you want. You don't have, I think the focus that you're focused on, the saturation and how many people are there, that focus alone is going to keep you from trying. But the reality is that if you haven't shown up, if you haven't created your own personal brand, if you haven't told me your opinions, if you haven't built your channel, if you haven't done the podcast, if you haven't written your book, if you haven't said your piece, then your algorithm, your ideas, your impact, your brand isn't out there. So how could it be saturated if it's missing you? Look at it like that. Yeah, there's a lot of people, but I'm not there. Cool. So I can add my perspective? Yes. Okay, cool. So I can say things the way I want to say them? Yes. Okay, I don't have to do what everybody else is doing? No. Who told you that? You don't have to show up like everybody else. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. That's the whole point. The whole point is find your difference. Say that you get pissed off at social media. Say these are the things that make me angry about YouTube. Say, you know what? Most podcasts do this and I'm tired of that shit. I'm going to do this. Yo, my podcast, I started my podcast in my car. I had the Apple headphones that were connecting with the wire, and I had these hoops. Watch out, YouTube Live. I'm already on live. Thanks, calendar. Anyway, I had these headphones. These hoops. They weren't like rigid. They were just regular hoops. And I had them in my ear, and I was driving my car, my kids in the back. My e-tag, my little toll thing wasn't paid. So it was going every time I went through the e-tag, and I would go through the e-tag a lot. It was beeping like, you ain't paid this shit. And I have Apple headphones and they're hitting my hoops. Clank, clank, clank. The audio was not good. But you know what was fire? The shit that I was saying. And my heart, I just wanted to speak to women. That my intention was just to be your big sister on Bluetooth and speak love into you and remind you of how fucking powerful you are and remind you of who you came here to be and remind you that nothing's wrong with you. Like, I was just like, let me just be your hype girl. Like, did you forget you're brilliant and amazing? Let me remind you. That's what my podcast was about. You could hear the train tracks, my husband's muffler. I was in his Volkswagen. It was the opposite of perfect. It was bad audio, actually, which is illegal, air quotes. You shouldn't have bad audio. It was horrible audio. And then my podcast was number 6 in Australia for mental health. And then my podcast has hit over 3 million downloads in 200 and something countries. Sorry. What? Why? Because it was fire, because I was doing it because I wanted to be of service, and the shit that I was saying was fire, because it was missing, because it was different, because it was imperfect, because it was messed up, because it wasn't polished and beautiful. And if you're on YouTube right now watching other creators, they are saying that the phone shit from your iPhone, which by the way, the new iPhone is like a camera, the new iPhone without all this fancy gear that I got a DSLR, I got softbox lights, I got a fucking Sigma lens, I've got this nice microphone. That this shit here is actually the opposite of what people are doing. That people are going back to the nitty gritty, raw camera shaking, Blair Witch Project style, like normal behind the scenes. People are going to that more because it's real and it's raw and it's live and it's unapologetic. So what I want to say to you is, don't focus on how saturated the industry is. Focus on how your point of view and the way you see the world and the way you say things is missing. Don't focus on that. What about if you went inwards and went, you know what? I have an opinion about this. I think this. I believe this. This is the way that I want my thought leadership is. This is what I believe things are. What if you focus on putting yourself out there so that the people who came to hear you and the people who need your message can find you? Let me just drink some water. What about if you did that? How is it saturated? You're not there. If you were everywhere, then yes, maybe it's saturated, but you're not. And the simple way of even asking this question is the wrong frame. I want you to think about it like, actually, there's a lot of people out in the world and no one's saying what I'm saying. No one's saying it like me. I'm missing from the industry. I'm missing from the stage. I'm missing from the perspective. I need to add what I think. And I want to do it in my own way. And it's not like trying to be different to be cool, because that's cringy, right? Don't try. Just be. Be who you are. If you're more introverted, be introverted. If you're like dry, witty humor, share that. right? If you're hype and out there and crazy, do that. If you love to say crazy, wild shit and get canceled, go for it. Like, do what works for you. Every day that you don't show up, every day that you don't build your audience, every day that you don't share what you think and feel and your difference is every day that you are missing out on what you came here to create and the people who came here to find you. Because there are people that are going to find you and love you. And they're not my people, because my people find me. There's people for everyone. And when your voice is missing, they can't see you, they can't find you, they can't go to you. And so I want to encourage you to not look at how saturated everything is, but instead to look at how you're missing from the piece, how you're not there, your voice isn't there, your perspective isn't there. And instead, what if you just got out of your own way, showed up as you are? Like, I'm not perfect in this YouTube live. Right now I'm live and no one's on live with me. So what? I'm showing up because I said I was going to show up. And if I continue to show up and I keep telling people that I'm here live and I keep saying, hey, come to YouTube every Tuesday, every second Tuesday, whatever, right? They're going to show up and then we're going to have a conversation. And then in 3 weeks, in 10 months, in 2 years, I'm going to have so many people on this live and asking me questions that I won't even be able to answer all the questions. That's how you build. Who gives a shit if it's saturated? It's not saturated. That is a lie. Consider that's not true. And if you keep believing that bullshit, it's going to keep you from showing up and building what you came here to build. Okay? I love you. This is a quick one today. I've got a keynote that I'm doing right after this. I'm feeling very Halloween right now. I'm not wearing any pink, my friend. What is happening? But I hope that this resonates with you. Thank you for asking the question, my darling, and continue to send my questions. You can drop your questions under here in the description, or you can send them to me on Instagram at the Queen of Confidence. I would love to hear from you. And good news about the podcast. We recently just signed up with Flightcast, which is Stephen Bartlett's podcast hosting company. And I'm really excited because we are going to be putting all of our podcast videos on YouTube. So for those of you that listen to the podcast, you got what you requested. Thank you for requesting and pushing me to show up here. Whether there's one person or 1,000 persons, it does not matter. We are here to impact. So just get out of their own way, show up, share the shit you came here to share, and the people will find you. I love you so much. Have the best week, and I will see you soon. Oh my God, November is coming. Just PS, November's coming. Okay, I love you. Bye.